This is gonna blow your mind. News, ghosts, travel, and pop culture all in one show. Ready to dive in? Let's go. From breaking headlines and eerie encounters to epic European adventures and the latest pop culture craziness, nothing's off limits. Robert, Crew, and Julie bring shock, laughs, and those wait, seriously? Moments every episode. Hit subscribe, join the fun, and ride the chaos with us. This is the Robert and Crew Show, Season 7 Unleashed.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, as always, I am your host, Robert, and we have a special guest and our two others. So introduce yourself, as always, Crew.
I'm the co-host, Crew.
And I'm your co-host, Julie.
And we have our special guest.
Hi, y'all.
That's Mariah.
Yes.
Tonight, Crew, what are we talking about?
We're going to be talking about one of our favorite topics to go over, the Chicago World's Fair, the Great Fire, and Tartarian Connection.
All right, so don't mind me. I'm just going to eat my piece of pizza, and I don't want to do that on camera. Either way, go into a little bit of backstory and information about Chicago, Crew.
Okay, let's see here. All right, so the H.H. Holmes Murder Castle, a house of horrors during the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. The Murder Castle of H.H. Holmes, located at 601 through 605 West 63rd Street in Chicago Inglewood neighborhood, was a chilling counterpoint to the grandeur of the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. Okay. Let's see, what else does it say? Built by Herman Webster Mugget, better known as H.H. Holmes, this three-story structure was designed as a hotel to capitalize on the influx of visitors to the fair, which drew over 27 million people to Chicago from May to October of 1893. Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Wow.
How many?
However, the building, later dubbed the Murder Castle, was a labyrinth death trap engineered by Holmes' gruesome crimes, earning him the title of America's first documented serial killer. Below is a detailed description of the Murder Castle during the World's Fair based on historical accounts and investigations. Designed and construction. Holmes began constructing the building in 1887 after acquiring an empty lot across from the pharmacy he owned in Inglewood, about 3 miles west of the fairgrounds in Jackson Park. To obscure his intentions, he hired and fired multiple construction crews, ensuring no single worker grasped the full scope of the project. Completed in 1892, the structure was a block-long, mixed-use building with a deceptively ordinary facade. The first floor housed commercial spaces, including Holmes' relocated pharmacy and other storefronts, while the upper floors contained small apartments and rooms advertised as lodging for fairgoers, particularly young women seeking work or visiting the exposition. The building's exterior blended with the neighborhood's modest architecture, but its interior was bewildering maze designed for murder. Second floor, the heart of Holmes' killing machine, featured over 50 doors and 6 hallways, creating a disorienting layout. Some staircases led to dead ends, while others connected to secret passages.
Wasn't that just a myth? Wasn't there not very many secret passages in Holmes's house, or was there really? Because I've heard both sides. I've heard that there was, and then I heard that there wasn't.
And don't forget about the trapdoors either.
So there were trapdoors and hidden rooms.
Yeah.
That's what
For
I've
sure.
heard.
They were also, many of the rooms were soundproofed, some lined with asbestos coated steel plates, and several had gas jets controlled from Holmes' private bedroom, allowing him to. I'm not even going to say that word.
Is that like gas chamber people?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Aspirate,
Wow.
basically, him to aspirate victims silently.
That's fucked. That's like
A
sitting
wa-
in your garage with a car going on.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
walk-in vault modified with a gas pipe doubled as a suffocation chamber. Peepholes and alarms in the rooms ensured Holmes could monitor and trap occupants. The third floor was less elaborate but still sinister, with furnished rooms for guests interspread with locked chambers accessible only to Holmes. The basement was the grillish feature, equipped with a dissecting cable, a stretching rack, and an 8-foot tall industrial oven, and vats of acid and quicklime.
Is that because he was cremating the bodies in that giant oven, and then he was the bodies that he couldn't cremate, he was devouring it with acid, and the quicklime was another way to get rid of the bodies or to cover up the bodies?
This is what it says. It was where Holmes reportedly dismembered, incinerated, or dissolved victims' bodies.
Yeah, exactly what I said.
From the upper floors allowed him to send or shoot
like laundry chutes that he could just
Yeah.
send the body parts. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
to send corpse directly to the basement from disposable.
Well, I'm just going to toss this down the hole, and then we're going to go down. We're going to dissect us a human.
Or to strip them for sale to medical schools as skeletons or cadavers. Operation during the World's Fair. During the 1893 World's Fair, Holmes advertised his World's Fair Hotel as affordable lodging, targeting vulnerable visitors, especially young women drawn to Chicago for jobs for the exposition spectacle. The fair's massive crowds and transient population provided cover for his crimes, as missing persons were rarely investigated thoroughly. Holmes, a charismatic con artist, lured victims through newspaper ads, offering employment or marriage, often requiring them to take out life insurance policies, naming him as the beneficiary.
That's such a fishy thing to do. Like, how did none of them catch on to that? This dude's gonna kill me. He just took a life insurance policy out on me. Well, I guess good thing. Well, see, like, did he have to tell them? Because have you heard of what they call the big box store scandals? Have you heard of that? Do you know what it was? So it was called fat insurance. And what Walmart would do, because a lot of people at Walmart were obese and overweight, and they were working there because they needed a job or whatever, but they were just working there. But they were bigger people. They were obese. They had health issues, right? What did Walmart go and do? They went out and they bought fat insurance. They bought life insurance on all of their fat employees that they thought would die soon. And it was life insurance. And guess what? It paid out a lot. They would go out and take life insurance policies out on all of these workers, and they didn't have to ask for any of the information because the workers already gave them all the information when they got hired.
Wow.
So yes, that really happened.
I had not heard
Fuck you,
that.
Walmart.
Yeah, big box stores, and they weren't the only ones. You best bet Walmart wasn't the only people that did it.
Wow.
You best bet those were the only people that did it. If
That
Walmart
makes
did
me
it,
still not want to
hundreds of other
shop at
companies.
Walmart.
But this is what else it says. All right. Many of these women, employees, fiancés, or guests, entered the building and vanished.
How many fiancés did H.H. Holmes have?
I don't know.
You can gaslight them.
Taking life insurance policies out on them the day they get engaged and then killing them.
Oh my goodness.
The
Now, you
castle,
thought we was going to be married, bitch. This ain't happening. Stab, stab, stab.
the castle's design facilitated Holmes' methodical killings. Victims might be locked in soundproof rooms, gassed or trapped in the vaults. Some were tortured or subjected to medical experiments, reflecting Holmes' fascination with anatomy.
Yeah, because did you know that he famously would like remove sex organs? He had a weird fetishization with removing the sex organs off of his victims surgically, which is why they like attached him to Jack the Ripper, because Jack the Ripper also surgically did things to his victims.
Yeah,
Which is
I've
why
watched some type of
originally there was a
documentary about it.
connection. They thought Jack the Ripper may have been H.H. Holmes, that H.H. Holmes moved to Chicago during the World's Fair time to get away from London because he was wanted there as the Ripper. It's very odd, but it's not
Yeah.
real. Sadly, Jack the Ripper is a completely different person than H.H. Holmes. That would have made one hell of a story.
Boo.
Yeah, it would have made one hell of a story. They have officially found Jack the Ripper's DNA. So we should know in the next like year to 2 years who Jack the Ripper really was. And it's not H.H. Holmes' DNA, which we have.
Damn it.
Yeah, on file.
All right, this is what else it says. For his medical school days, or from his medical school days, sorry. After killing, he used the basement to dispose of bodies, either burning them in the oven or dissolving them in acid, though he reportedly sold some skeletons to
medical places for
institutions.
research.
Neighborhood residents noted that many women entered the building, but were rarely seen leaving, though Holmes' charm fabricated excuses, claiming a guest had moved away, deflecting suspicion. Victims and discovery. The exact number of Holmes' victims is uncertain. He's confessed to 27 murders, though some estimates suggested up to 200, while historians like Adam Selzer argue for a more conservative count of around 9 confirmed killings. Notable victims include Julia Connor and her daughter Pearl, who vanished in 1891. Minnie and Nanny Williams, sisters, killed in 1893, and Emmeline Stigrand, a mistress who disappeared in 1892.
A mistress. Probably was his fiance.
Yeah.
She was already doing the mistress thing. So she probably became his fiance and then he took care of the problem. Apparently he didn't like cheaters very much.
Yeah. The fair's chaos made it easy for Holmes to target out-of-town visitors. whose disappearances went unnoticed amid the transient crowds. The murder castle's horrors came to light after Holmes fled Chicago in 1894 following the fair's closure, and an arson attempt on the building in August 1893, likely to collect insurance money. His arrest in Boston in November 1894, initially for insurance fraud involving his associate Benjamin.
Let me guess. He tried to burn the building down, but it was limestone.
Yeah, so
Building
it's probably
didn't burn.
Benjamin. I don't know the last name, but it just said
That sounds like
Benjamin.
something. That sounds like something a really bad conman would do, which is exactly what like H. Holmes is said to have been. Was a really bad conman, but a really good murderer, which makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. He was good at murdering people and hiding the evidence, but he wasn't good at conning people. So he got caught trying to set his own place on fire. That's absolutely hilarious.
Well, since we're on the H. Holmes topic, do you remember that one video game series where it's a choice making game, Dark Pictures?
I don't know. What's it called?
Dark Pictures
Dark Pictures game.
series, and then type in H. Holmes on YouTube. The trailer. Can't remember the name of the game, but it's free on the PlayStation Play Store, and I've played it, and it's really good.
I don't know. I see it. I think. I don't see an actual trailer though.
Hold on.
Wait. Here you go.
Cool, you found it.
Oh, I've barely begun, Your Honor. You don't seem to understand. I was born with the devil in me.
Is that supposed to be Holmes?
Yeah.
I could not help the fact that I was a murderer any more than a poet can help the inspiration to sing. Bury me deep, Your Honor. Make sure they fill my pine box with cement. Put me deeper than anyone else. And cover the ground with more cement, cause trust me.
Sadly, due to copyright,
Just
I'm going to
alien
cut
enough
this
to
now.
stop me from
But that looks hella crazy.
Yeah.
That was a video game?
Yep.
What year did that come out?
Hold on. I have to relook it up.
Sadly, I can't play all those whole videos, because I know we'll get copyrighted in a second. I'm not trying to get taken down.
Yeah.
But
I
anyway,
understand.
That
Um,
looks interesting.
with H. Holmes in Chicago, that's obviously a big part of the World's Fair. And the World's Fair was pretty big, as you
Oh.
said, crew.
Okay. I know when it came out.
When did it come out?
It's the final game for season 1. It's called The Devil and Me. Came out in 2022. Inspired by H. Holmes and his murder castle.
Yeah.
Season
That
2
sounds
has
about
not come out yet, but it's basically great. All those games are crazy, and that was one of the best.
All right, so I got a little bit of information on the Chicago's World's Fair, because it is a huge part of the architecture and how Chicago was formed. Which, does anybody here besides me know Chicago's true name?
Not that I'm aware of.
Chillaga. Chillaga, the city of Chillaga, which, by the way, Chillaga was around before America was. Explain that. The city of Chillaga was around before America. But there was supposedly nobody here when Christopher Columbus found this, supposedly, which we all know Christopher Columbus didn't find America.
Yeah. Even the Indians know that.
But
I
anyways,
say that because I got a book. I don't have it currently, but I got a book from the tribe in North Carolina.
yeah,
And it had all of that stuff in there, and it was very interesting.
we'll have to do an episode on the discovery of America. But anyways, the Chicago's World's Fair of 1893, officially the World's Columbian Exposition, was a pivotal moment for Chicago's architecture, showcasing the city's ambition and initiative on a global stage. Held in Jackson Park to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Columbus's arrival, the fair transformed 600 acres into a dazzling white city, a neoclassical dreamscape of grand buildings, lagoons, and landscaped grounds designed by architects like Daniel Burnham, Frederick Law Olmsted, and Louis Sullivan. The architectural style was dominated by Beaux Arts classicism, characterized by white plaster, so they were plaster, not styrofoam, plaster-clad buildings with symmetrical facade ornate details and at a monumental scale. The Court of Honor and the fair's centerpiece featured iconic structures like the Administration Building, with its gilded dome and massive manufacturers, and Liberal Arts Building, which was the largest roof structure in the world at the time. These buildings, though temporary, temporary, it just, I can't believe that. It's so hard to believe that these buildings were temporary. They were built with wood frames and plaster, projected permanence and grandeur painted white to gleam under electric lights, a novelty that awed visitors. In Burnham, the fair's chief planner championed this unified aesthetic, aiming to rival European cities and establish Chicago as a cultural hub. The fair's layout, with its orderly grid of buildings around Central Basin, influenced the city's beautiful movement, inspiring urban planning across the United States. However, Louis Sullivan, a pioneer of modern architecture, critiqued a classical style as regressive, favoring instead of functional. Steel frame designs emerging in Chicago's skyscrapers. His transportation building, with its bold, non-classical golden door, stood out as a modernist counterpoint. So he's basically the person that I can thank for making Chicago look like such crap. Thank you, Louis Sullivan. The fair's impact on Chicago's architecture was profound. It showcased the city's engineering prowess, from initiative foundations on marshy soil to the early use of electric lighting and elevators. It also catalyzed urban development, spurring projects like the Museum of Science and Industry, the fair's only surviving major building. But wasn't it made out of wood and plaster? How did it survive? I'd like to know. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to find out.
And then Chicago's reputation as an architectural innovator. The white city's idolized vision contrasted with the gritty industrial city beyond, but set a high bar for civic design, influencing Chicago's lakefront parks, boulevards, and future skyscrapers. In 1893, World's Fair was defining moment, blending classical grandeur with the modern engineering, leaving a lasting imprint on Chicago's architectural identity and urban aspirations. So basically, all of those beautiful buildings that you saw at the World's Fair, in those pictures, in that Ferris wheel, and all of that amazing stuff, all apparently was just temporary. And only maybe 4 buildings survived.
And it seems like they would have kept the Ferris wheel.
That Ferris wheel, to put into perspective for you, could hold almost 150 people per per cart, and they had over 30 carts, or I think 20 carts on that Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I read about that.
It was
That
amazing.
was pretty interesting.
No other Ferris wheel has ever been built like that in all of history. So why do we get rid of it?
Yeah, why didn't they keep some of the parts
Because it wasn't
for
ours.
history?
It wasn't ours. Just like those buildings weren't ours. Just like the things that are covered up daily aren't ours.
Yeah,
And that
we
brings
need
us
our
more to-
historian friend.
That brings us more to the fact of, is this Tartarian architecture that was destroyed? Crew, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I believe it was. Even though a lot of people say otherwise.
Well, it was just plaster and wood, homie.
Okay, well, explain to me who's one of the biggest believers in Tartaria, thanks to Rob. The Romanesque architect.
Oh yeah. And just the beauty behind it.
There was a little statue facing a Romanesque like building. That's no longer there anymore. They had a Ferris wheel that could hold 100 people in each compartment.
Oh yeah.
Now, I did send you some pictures, bro. One of the pictures is a ticket stand from the World Fair that's still standing to this day.
A ticket booth?
I'll take a booth.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh,
Let's see if I can find it.
I sent you a lot of them. Yep, there it is.
Now, what's
Mom.
that supposed to be of?
It's a ticket booth. While most of
Oh,
the grand
okay.
buildings and monuments were destroyed, smaller elements of the World's Fair have withstood the past century. In particular, this ticket booth from the fair now stands in the side yard shadows of a famous Oak Park home, the DeCaro House, 313 North Forest Avenue, designed by Frank Lloyd Wright back in 1906. It draws most of the attention from historians, but the unusual shack in the yard is a treasure. In its retirement from the ticket business, the structure has been used as a garden tool shed, a rabbit hut, and now a garden decoration. But it was once an actual ticket booth for the World's Fair.
Pretty interesting.
Oh, sorry, wrong photo. We had this one too, the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition World's Fair in Chicago. And that looks like a giant balloon.
Right.
giant air balloon.
Yep. Now, if you notice in the sky, do you see any clouds or sun or anything?
No.
No.
They whitewashed the background. What are they hiding in the sky?
I've wondered that.
Just wanted to.
Why they had to whitewash everything?
They whitewashed the sky in all old photos. I wonder why. Oh, look at that. The sky is whitewashed.
Yeah.
The 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. So this is another picture of the World's Fair. Which that one doesn't look as cool. That one's just a bunch of horses. Oh, that's our famous Ferris wheel that is no longer there.
That's
And
massive.
look how many people it looks like they can fit on each seat.
So
At least 5?
I heard that they no. I heard with filling those things up, they could literally put at least 100 people on one cart.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
And there were claims that over 150 people could fit in one cart.
Wow.
So I mean, just to put that into perspective for you, if you have 150 people at odds weighing 200 pounds apiece inside of there, imagine all of the carts filled up at the World's Fair on opening day, because that happened. Yeah, amazing.
A lot of
though.
people.
Absolutely amazing. And it's gone. I don't know why we didn't keep it, but it's gone. And this is our beautiful Roman statue facing a beautiful, beautiful Romanesque building that I don't even know if that's even still there in Chicago to this day.
It's the building is, but not the statue.
No, the statue's gone.
Yeah.
Not the statue.
Yeah. Because that's water, guys. And what else do you notice with this photo? Is this photo also have what in the background? It's a whitewashed photo.
Whitewash.
Yeah. There's nothing in the sky. Nothing.
No,
clouds,
not even
no
blue
nothing.
sky.
Nope. They took it out. Why? Blows me away. This is also another one of the World's Fair. I don't know what that is. What is that, crew? Some kind of ride?
Yeah, it looks like some kind of ride.
Weird. But also in this photo, the background is whitewashed. Every
Yeah.
single one of them is whitewashed. Every single one of them. It just makes you wonder, why whitewash the background? Look at how bad that whitewash is. And people will say that that's the sun. Get out of
That
here.
is not no sun or clouds.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Why did it all look gray?
Because I'll tell you why. They used a crazy amount of whitewash in the back there because probably right there was a giant Zeppelin, which all of us don't really know about. But the Zeppelin back in the day, there was one really bad accident with the Zeppelin, okay? It was called the Hindenburg. Everybody knew about the Hindenburg, okay? Because it was such a
Oh, yeah.
crazy tragedy that it destroyed people's lives and it made air travel via balloon basically non-existent after the Hindenburg disappeared or went up in flames, whatever you want to call it. Basically,
All right, I'm going to read this real quick.
well, real quick, man. Basically, the airships were all over the place, Julie. Literally all over the place. Every country had them. We had them. We had airships before we had airships during the Wild Wild West. Take that in. We had airships during the Wild Wild West period. Does that make any sense to you? The first Zeppelins were made during the Wild Wild West period. Also at the same time that these buildings were showing up. These Roman buildings in America during the Wild Wild West period. You think Wild Wild West people built Romanesque buildings? I don't. You couldn't pay me enough to believe that. They were using horses and buggies.
Yeah, I wish we could have an interview with an older person.
All right, well, I'm going to read this real quick because it has to do with the World's Fair and whitewashing. I did look this up. All right, the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, also known as the World's Fair, was a significant event showcasing culture, innovation, and architecture. Some critics argued that aspects of the fair were whitewashed in terms of representation or historical portrayal. Context of representation at the fair. Limited diversity in exhibits. The fair had limited representation of non-Western or marginalized cultures in main exhibits compared to Western achievements. Ethnological displays. Some exhibits did feature cultures from around the world, but often in ways that reflected.
I think you looked up the wrong whitewash.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
It sounds like you're talking about races.
Well, no, I'm explaining that this is the representation at the fair part.
Right. We
I'm
don't
getting
really
to the
know about
whitewashing and
representation.
historical context part.
I got you.
I'll go ahead and skip the ethnological displays part. Historical narratives. Whitewashing can refer to sanitizing or skewing history to favor a particular, often dominant perspective. Controversies and critics. The fair's portrayal of cultures and peoples has been critiqued by historians for lacking full representation of perpetuating stereotypes.
Still sounds like you're talking about races. You're
I
not
just
you're not actually
I typed
talking
in
about
why do a lot of the pictures of the World's Fair
have
whitewash?
whitewashed backgrounds.
Yeah, and that's what it told me.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be honest, didn't make a lot of sense to me. Sounded like it was talking about more of the ethnic and the stuff behind all of that. What I think and my personal belief is they were covering up something in the sky. That's obviously what it is. And there were obviously a lot of airships that were out in that time that we're not to know about. And do you want to know why we're not to know about airships? Why they don't want us to know about airships? Because they were the most prolific way to travel. They could make an airship as big as they wanted to. The reason why the Hindenburg was such a problem was because somebody built it in a way that it was not going to last as long as they needed it to. They also used hydrogen back then, which is very flammable. And I think the story goes is that somebody smoked a cigarette on the Hindenburg and it went up. And
Ooh,
I don't know
I got
how
something.
truthful that is,
I got something.
but
Mm.
Context on World's Fair photos. Photograph techniques. Photos from the time used various techniques and had limitations in capturing color or details. Typical depictions. Images of the fair often highlight the neoclassical white city architecture, lagoons, and exhibits. Whitewashed meaning. Metaphorical use. Whitewashed usually refers to altering or glossy over facts, controversies, or histories. Not literal in sky context. There's no literal whitewashing of the sky, discussing
except there is.
world
Look at it.
photos.
Look at it.
Right.
There is. It's literally whitewashed. That's what whitewashing is this is whitewashing, is when there's nothing in the background at all. No clouds, no nothing. Okay, like
Go back to the other photo you were just at.
this isn't
That
a photo,
what
it's a map.
it would actually look like.
Yeah, it's a map. That's an illustration. That's not an actual photo.
But no, that would be actually what it could look like.
What it should look like, but instead you have all of these photos that are all completely whitewashed in the back. Yeah. And if you look in this photo, there's an obelisk in the very center of Chicago. What is an Egyptian obelisk doing in the very center of Chicago? Look that up, crew. Why was there an obelisk at the World's Fair?
They knew something that we didn't.
I don't know. It's Egyptian culture right there, thrown into your face, and not everybody would even realize it. Did you know that there's an actual obelisk in New York that is from Egypt, that is literally in the middle of New York?
I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. And it was stolen.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. It was stolen from ancient Egypt by, I believe, Italy or Rome, and gifted to us. Let me look that up to make sure that I'm not spewing bullshit out my mouth, but for real. Obelisk in the middle of New York City.
Could you clarify what you mean by work city?
No,
Are you asking about a
obelisk.
specific city?
The obelisk in the middle of New York City, Times Square, or it might be Central Park.
Oh, I think you're talking about the obelisk in Central Park, not Times Square. It's called Cleopatra's Needle, a 3,000-year-old Egyptian obelisk near the Met Museum. Stands about 70 feet tall, covered in hieroglyphs. Gifted to the U.S. in 1881. No major obelisks in Times Square, just lots of lights and crowds. Did you mean Central Park or something else?
The obelisk that's in Central Park. Who gifted it to the U.S.?
It was gifted to the U.S. by the Khedive of Egypt, Ismail Pasha, in 1881.
Okay, so Egypt actually supposedly gave the obelisk to us, but that's not the story I've heard.
All right,
Okay.
this is what it says. Egyptian structure, the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition. The 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago featured various international and thematic structures, including ones inspired by Egyptian architecture.
So it wasn't real. It wasn't a real obelisk. It was a temporary structure.
That's what it says. That's what it says.
That's stupid. You look at that. Do you believe that was temporary? Look at it, crew. Was that wooden plaster? That obelisk looks like stone.
That doesn't look wooden to me.
It looks like stone. It looks like a stone statue. You're gonna tell me that that was wooden plaster? It was temporary? Get out of here! Like, this shit is wildin'. Like, I don't understand how anybody believes the narrative of the World's Fair in Chicago. I don't know how anybody believes it.
Ooh.
So then we have this one, which is the World's Fair Columbian Exposition. What is this building? I don't know what this building is,
That's
but
so pretty.
that's very pretty, and they want you to believe that that was temporary.
They lied.
That's just plaster and wood, guys. That's not stone. It's just
Yeah.
plaster and wood.
And then I sent you a picture of where they had the electricity, or they were trying out the first electricity thing. That was pretty interesting. Yeah,
That
I believe so. And it looked like a needle at the top of the building.
Yeah. But have you heard that back in the day power lines could create power themselves?
I hadn't really heard that.
There's literal encyclopedias and books that talk about electricity when we first found out about electricity, and it said they built power lines to power themselves. So if that's true, then why are we paying for power?
I know, right?
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
That was really pretty too. And you want me to believe that that's temporary? That was temporary?
I don't think it should have been.
I want a statue like that.
Look
And
Yeah,
at
I
that.
thought it was really pretty.
That's a statue, right? That's a statue.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah.
wooden plaster.
And
uh-uh.
and that doesn't look like it was done by hammer and chisel either.
No, it doesn't.
It looks like it was done by laser.
Yep. Or by somebody that was really, really good at what they did and they had a special art to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really pretty.
Then there's the H.H. Holmes murder castle.
Oh, it don't even look like. It looks like straight up like apartment buildings.
Yep.
It does.
It's no longer there. Apparently they demolished it.
Boo.
And then you know what? That looks like power outage. Power.
Is that the new building, bro?
No.
Yeah.
That is supposedly where the castle sat. This is well, I guess yes, this would be the building that's there now.
Yes.
This is the apartment complex that sits where the building was.
Yeah, I tried to get one before and one after.
Yeah.
I want the mother trucking castle. I want the mother trucking castle that had the gas chambers.
Right. That's pretty cool.
I
Ooh.
thought it was.
So that's that electric building you were talking about.
Yes.
And then we have this beautiful, beautiful museum that was built at the same time supposedly as the World's Fair, but wasn't temporary. Huh.
I know, it seems like it should still be there.
Well,
At least they got clouds in the background this time.
that building is still standing.
I believe so.
No?
That building is the Science Museum of Chicago.
Yes.
I have been in that building.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can tell you that building, it was definitely not temporary, and it was built at the same time as all of those buildings supposedly during the World's Fair. And it was part of the World's Fair exhibit, the Science Building of Chicago. So if that's true, why wasn't it temporary? You're going to tell me that those other gigantic structures that were more beautiful than this were temporary, but this was the one that wasn't temporary? Make it make sense, Chicago. You leave the square modernized building, but get rid of all the beautiful architecture. And then these pharaoh things on the sides of it, which I always forget were there, because I don't know if they're still there or not. But if they are, I just overlook them all the time. Those pharaohs that are there,
I
that's
think they're
pretty
still
Egyptian.
there.
That's pretty Egyptian-esque. So, like, I feel like those might be actual Egyptian artifacts that were taken and put onto the building. As crazy as that sounds, a lot of stolen Egyptian artifacts have been found around the world.
Yes.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
And they are identical. Which, that crew would be another label of what? Laser detail, right?
Yeah, and supposedly the Grand Canyon, for example, has a hidden compartment of Egyptian artifacts
Well,
that we are not allowed to go see.
It's a cave system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposedly, the Grand Canyon connects to Africa, but I'd be crazy to say that. So that's just educational and a little bit funny and kind of a rabbit hole.
It's a harmful conspiracy. Let's just put it that perspective.
No.
Yeah, because I've heard about it too. So
And Rob, what do harmful conspiracies do to people?
Oh, they hurt people. They hurt people. They hurt people's brains too. They make you not think for yourself for once. You think the government's harmful when it's actually a good thing, right, people? It's a good thing.
Yeah.
The government's good. You should listen to everything the government says. You should trust them, right, Julie?
Yeah, right.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Oh, shit. You should trust the government as much as you should trust how the Chicago fire was started.
Uh-huh.
So
Right.
going into that, Julie,
Okay.
what do we have tonight about the Chicago fire?
Well, the Great Chicago Fire was catastrophic that reshaped the city. The Great Chicago Fire of 1871 stands as one of the most transformative, long word, events in American urban history. A devastating blaze that reduced much of Chicago to ashes, but ultimately catalyzed its rebirth as a modern metropolitan spanning and The fire started October 8th, 1871. Well, the 8th through the 10th is approximately. The fire destroyed thousands of buildings and displaced thousands of residents and left an oh golly, in sorry, mark on the city and identity as a culture. The fire started October 8th, 1871,
And how did it start?
near a barn
Uh-huh.
owned by Patrick and Catherine O'Leary.
Take this in,
And
guys.
supposedly a cow knocked over a lantern.
Do you believe that? Do you believe
No.
that for a second? That a cow knocking over a lantern would start the Great Chicago Fire? I mean, it's
No.
possible. It's plausible. But did that
it
really
is, but
happen?
that's highly okay. Maybe if it got spooked, but I think this was all a.
Why was the lantern so close to the cow?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear the story behind that. How the cow knocked over the lantern in the first place.
I think it was
Exactly.
intentional.
It could have very well been.
That's just as bad as them saying the Hindenburg went down because somebody was smoking a cigarette. Think about it. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Okay,
The
so
Chicago Fire was started by a cow that.
okay,
kicked over
so it's like the
lantern.
mud flood theory, right? They wanted to do a reset in a lot of places, so that way nothing Tartarian could be remembered.
And Chicago being a big part of that.
Kansas
Yeah.
City being one as well. All over America.
Hey, I got something fun for you to do right now. Actually, I'll do it for everybody right here on screen. Give me a city. Give me a city.
Kansas City.
Kansas City?
New York City.
Okay, so Kansas City and New York City?
Oh boy.
Here we go. Here you go, crew. Check this out. The Great Fire of Kansas City, known as the Stockyards Fire of 1917, resulted in the death of approximately 17,000 cattle and hogs, marking one of the largest agricultural disasters in the city's history. On October 16th of 1917, a catastrophic fire broke out in Kansas City stockyards, which were among the largest in the world at the time. The blaze quickly spread, devastating a significant portion of the stockyards and leading to a loss of thousands of livestock. Estimates suggest around 17,000 cattle and hogs perished in the fire. Approximately 30,000 others were freed and rounded up in downtown KC. The exact cause of the fire was never determined, but it was reported that the flames gained momentum rapidly, making it difficult for fire departments from both Kansas City and Kansas City, Kansas, to control the situation. The fire was discovered in the early morning, and despite the quick response, it raged for several hours after being brought under control. Basically, it was a tragic event that remains pivotal in a moment in Kansas City's history, highlighting vulnerabilities in industrial operations and devastating effects of disasters on local agriculture and economy. The Stockyards Fire of 1917 is often remembered as a stark reminder of the risk associated with large-scale livestock operations. So that's the Great Fire of Kansas City, which that took out some buildings.
Oh yeah.
Then,
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
then we're going to go to New York. The
Yeah,
Great
New York City.
Fire of New York. Oh, would you look at that? Here you go. This is crazy. Literally, every single city about at the same point in time had a huge fire. Huh. Very interesting, right, guys? The Great
Yeah.
Fire of New York, which occurred on September 21st of 1776. So this happened in 1776. That's crazy. Devastated approximately 25% of the city, significantly impacting the population in the course of the American Revolutionary War. So the Great Fire of 1776 happened in New York. That's insane. And then the Great Fire of New York in 1835. So they had two Great Fires: the Great Fire of 1776 and the Great Fire of 1835.
Bro, remember that video of that book I sent you a while
Yes.
back?
Yeah.
And what exactly does it show map-wise in that book of America?
I don't remember.
1777,
Yeah.
America, bottom half was all of what?
Florida.
And what was not discovered yet?
Canada.
Yep. And what was the name of the cities?
So you had Florida. You had the other parts was there was a oh my god.
California.
Yeah, there's California, and then was one of them Washington? Like Washington State? Like wasn't it Washington? I could be wrong. I don't remember fully, but I know there weren't very many.
And what countries was talked about besides America?
Inside of America?
No, out like where Russia, China, and all that would be.
Where China and Russia would be?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Tartary,
Yep.
Great Tartary, which is now Grand Tartaria.
Mm-hmm. So therefore, Tartarians been to America before us.
Yeah, that's basically the belief, is that the Tartarians figured out what was here before anybody else. That's why Chillaga was already on maps before America was ever a thing. Chillaga was already on maps before America was ever a thing. The city of Chicago was on a map before America was ever a thing.
Chillaga.
The city of Chillaga.
Pretty interesting.
And they had a lot of names of different cities based off countries. There was Cairo in America. There was Lebanon in America. There was you got New England.
Yeah. You know, I think there was a fire in Richmond, Virginia, too.
There was New France. I think it was called.
I believe it. There's a Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
There, Paris, Texas.
Memphis,
Yeah.
Tennessee. Memphis, as in Egypt. I was trying to get a map to show you of Chillaga, and like I found it, but it is basically, here's what which is funny because one of the little continents on it, or not continents, one of the little states right next to Chillaga is New France, and under that is CIA. I wonder what that stands for.
Oh my goodness, who knows?
The CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency.
Wow.
So that's Chillaga, already on a map before America ever existed. Oh, and what's that down there? Is that Florida?
Yep, that's
Does
Florida.
it say Florida?
Mm-hmm.
So Florida was around before America. Huh. And right next to Chillaga was New France. Whoa. New France. I wonder what New France was.
Very interesting.
Did the French people get here before anybody else too? And then under there you have Tagil, which is Egyptian, right by Florida. And then you have above Florida, you have what I can't read it, but I think it says Taparda. And then above that, you have Monteganar in CIA. I don't know what CIA stands for, but this is all on a map.
Doesn't that say Cairo at the bottom left?
Yes.
Wow.
Makes
you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
And then I know it's not too off topic, but it's just about a map that I found out about today. They are trying to redo the map of Africa, saying that it's larger than it's shown on the older maps originally.
Because it is. Did you know that America is the smallest continent we're the smallest continent in the world, but we're portrayed as the biggest continent on the globe. Do you know why that is?
Isn't that crazy?
It's done on purpose. It's done so that us stupid Americans believe that we're the biggest continent with the strongest military with the most people. But in all actuality, that's China. China is the biggest country in the entire world. And if you look at China on the map, it's only medium size. Russia's bigger than China. Make that make sense. Russia's nowhere near as big as China is.
And then yesterday, China had their first robotic Olympics.
That's weird. I'll have to look into that.
That's weird. And now, today,
Let's not get too far off topic, Julie.
No. Just last thing, though. Just today, they're trying to make a robotic woman have a baby.
Oh, I did see that. That was on the front page of Google.
Yeah.
So it's not making a robotic person have a baby. So basically that is what it is, but it's not what it is. Basically what it is it's a female robot that will be able to hold a baby term. Okay.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is they'll be able to put an embryo into this robot, and the robot will be completely see-through. So you as a mom or you as somebody who wants to have a child that can't have one naturally can literally watch your baby form inside this robot, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, it's also fucking weird as shit and crazy.
It is.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's robot surrogates, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, back to Chicago.
No.
Yeah, that's robotic.
Anyways, back on topic. We got some videos for y'all tonight.
Do a couple. Oh, where's our sound? Oh, is this music? Yeah, it's gotta go off. That sucks. Oh wow, this is old Chicago. And it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It is, and that looks almost like a dome of some sort.
Well, yeah, it's got a domed ceiling. It's all of this screams Tartarian architecture. Absolutely all of it.
But where'd it go? Why'd they tear it down after they were done with it?
Julie. It was temporary.
Yeah, it was temporary.
It was just plaster and wood.
Yeah.
That's really cool looking.
Too bad it was plaster and wood.
Supposedly, but
look at all those plaster chairs. Crazy. Did you see all those plaster chairs? I wonder how long it took to make those chairs out of plaster and wood.
Yeah,
those chairs didn't look like they were like metal or anything. They were just painted black, right?
They had to be.
Did you know America used to be covered with beautiful ancient cities that resembled ancient Rome and Greece and Atlantis? but were destroyed in a massive cover-up? This is the Chicago World's Fair of 1893. The purpose of the fair was to introduce electricity to the general public for the first time. All of this was said to be built in just 3 years, solely for the event. Look at how detailed everything is. There is no way this was built in just 3 years. This was only a few years after the invention of the light bulb. There are theories that this city wasn't built for this fair, and that it was remnants of the ancient Tartarian Empire. Historians say the Tartarian Empire was an advanced civilization that ruled the world but was erased from traditional history. Some argue these world fairs served a darker purpose, a stage to erase technology and ancient wisdom, especially concepts of free, limitless energy, a hidden motive to monopolize and profit from New Age. Did you know?
There's that Tartarian conspiracy.
Bird's eye view of the World's Columbian Exposition, Chicago, 1893. I mean, look, first of all, the sheer size of this. Just take it in for a second.
It was showing off the last civilizations ahead, because there is no way. The matter of what, 4 years? How long did it take to build this one?
This one, 3 years. All of this.
Okay, 3 years. Let's do the maths and the science.
Bird's eye view of the World's Columbian Exposition, Chicago, 1893.
Yeah.
I mean, look at, first of all, the sheer size of this. Just
3 years.
Didn't they say 3?
3 years.
3 years.
All it took to build that whole city. 3 years. And then they tore it down because it was temporary.
Yeah, that still blows my
That's the
mind
biggest
that
feat
it
in
took.
human history.
Why'd they take it all back down again?
That's the biggest feat in human history. You built a city that beautiful in 3 years. How
Yeah.
come you didn't keep it? That's the most amazing feat of human history ever. Oh wait, it was all wood and plaster.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Makes sense, people.
Have you looked up how they got rid of those buildings? Because I found out why I thought it was fire, why I thought it was the Great Chicago Fire. Because they got rid of most of those buildings not by tearing them down, but supposedly by burning them.
That's what I think I heard.
Mm-hmm.
But why?
Down. Because they had to get rid of them. They were only temporary, Julie.
Yeah, they were temporary.
How many times I have to tell you this? They were only temporary.
But
had
they
to come
shouldn't have
down.
been.
They were ugly. Chicago thought they were ugly. They had to take them. They had to take care of them. They had to get rid of those ugly pieces of
Yeah,
trash.
but
that
they
were hurting
weren't
their
ugly.
great skyline.
The dome
What are you
part of it
talking
was
about?
beautiful.
The freaking skyscrapers are beautiful now. The cubes in the
Yeah.
air, those are beautiful. Not the beautiful Roman architecture.
It was it's all a cover up to hide what their true intentions was.
True,
Truthfully,
it's not a cover up. It was just plaster and wood.
that's what they want you to believe. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to be real, okay? I don't care what they want us to believe. Truth is, they got rid of all of it because of the fact that they didn't want people to know about Tartaria.
And it's pretty fucking weird, though, right, guys? That every city around the same time in the 1800s had a great fire.
Yeah,
And
even in my state, I'm telling you, it's
every
crazy.
single one of them. You know what
But
didn't have a great fire, but burned down twice?
New
Yeah,
York,
didn't Chicago burn down twice? I thought they did.
Well, I'm sure Chicago's burned down more than twice
Right.
in today's world.
Yeah.
But I'm
they-
talking about Washington, D.C.
yeah.
Yeah.
The White House. The White House has burned twice and has been rebuilt both times, supposedly.
And yet,
But if you go look at the White House, it's made all out of marble and limestone. So
and yet
once
there's a
again,
lot of buildings around the
how the building
United
burned.
States that are still standing that are all made out of what, Rob?
Limestone, and yeah,
And they look what?
Tartarian and Romanesque,
Yep.
and they're all over the place.
Can you show a picture of the beautiful cathedral in Kansas City?
Great. We're going to get my wedding spot pulled up.
The Catholic cathedral that you and I both got to go see in downtown Kansas City
Yeah.
for our Kansas City architecture episode.
Oh yeah.
With real gold.
Now that'd be cool.
Oh,
I haven't been
dope.
to Kansas
I would
and
go. Where's my invite, sir?
Oh my goodness.
Well, we are planning on doing a Kansas City architecture part 2 for this season. You're more than welcome to come out. to
Listen,
Kansas
sir,
City.
I better get an invite. You better
You're
send me
invited.
an
You're
invite.
invited.
yeah,
We don't know what
I
day we're
haven't-
doing it, but you're invited.
None of these
Like
pictures.
I said, I hadn't been to
none of these-
Kansas
None of these pictures are
for
savable, so I have to share the
years.
screen. But this is the cathedral that he's talking about, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And the whole top of it is real gold. And it's pretty insane that this still even stands in KC, and that it's been taken as good a care of as it has. Because I think the top of this screams Tartarian, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I think there used to be a free energy device on the top of that got switched out with a cross, or possibly even the cross was molded over the free energy device.
Possibly.
Can
Wonder
you
if
picture
there's
the
any
night-
stained glass
the-
windows.
The
If you
nighttime
look-
picture, bro?
The nighttime picture?
Yeah.
Is there any stained glass windows?
Oh.
That's really pretty.
Well, if you look, Julie, there's stained glass windows all the way around the building.
I can see now,
Yep.
but the other picture is harder to tell. Very pretty.
Oh yeah. The building is crazy.
That's very pretty.
I believe I sent you the picture. Give me one moment, bro. See if I can find it and resend it.
I took some really good photos of that place. I don't know what happened to them. I think they got deleted somehow.
Oh, hold on. I'm finding. Here we go.
I took
Here
some
we go.
really good photos of that place. We're talking close-ups to that building and everything. That building is the most amazing building in KC, in my opinion. There's some other buildings that are pretty amazing, like I'm just gonna say it, the Tartarian Federal Building in the middle of Kansas City. That's Tartarian as shit. You can't tell me otherwise. That place was built like the Romans built it. It's literally built like a Roman building. Roman pillars as big as like jet planes. Like, not even a joke. These things are gigantic. These things are huge. I've never seen pillars that big before on a building up close. Ever. Like, even our Science City, like our Union Station doesn't have that crazy of pillars. Like, it's got pillars, but not that crazy of pillars. You know the building I'm talking about, crew.
Oh yeah, Union Station, the
Building?
most haunted building in Kansas City.
No. I'm talking about the Federal Building. I did mention U.S. or the.
Oh, are you talking about the IRS building right across from it?
Yeah, the Tartarian Building across from the IRS building. The IRS building also looks Tartarian.
Yeah.
But there's a building in the middle of Kansas City that screams ancient Rome, and nobody talks about it.
Bro, show the picture that I screenshotted earlier today as well. I sent you the.
I was gonna say that building. Where the hell is that?
Independence Avenue.
That
Stone
building,
Boulevard.
that building is definitely Tartarian. Like 120%. That building was there long before independence was ever a freaking thing. Like, this is crazy. I've never seen a building that old before in my life.
Well,
like up close, like that. Like, that's crazy that you were able to see that and take a picture of it. They obviously rewrote over it and made it look like a church.
can you show it real quick? It's the first. It's called the Christian Church.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it. I gotta pull it up. Sorry.
Because the pillars on it look
Amazing.
very detailed.
They look absolutely amazing.
They do.
That's it. And they call it a church. At the top of it, it says it's a church. And I'm like, so you want me to believe that that was built like that to be a church? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That was not a church.
A lot of homeless hang out right on those steps.
That was definitely a Tartarian building. And that was a building that was left here. And I'll tell you why those buildings stay where they're at. The reason those buildings stay where they're at is because they're fireproof.
Yeah.
When things burn, everything burns around them but them. That is why that building has been around for as long as it has. And now a church owns it. And if you look at where like the Romans would inscribe things up here, is where they've written the church's name. And you can tell that it's been chiseled over like probably a couple different times. So they've renamed that building a couple different times.
Oh, yeah.
So that building has been alive for a long fucking time.
Beautiful building.
Oh, yeah. Roman architecture at its finest.
And then the Paseo, that one little park with that those pillars that are going all the way down. And then it has that big old stairway that goes up, and then on the side of it has like a little fountain with words above it.
Yeah.
And a dude said that's been around for 50 years, which I don't believe that. I believe it was there longer.
I'm trying to find the picture of the building that we saw in KC.
Which one?
The Roman building in the middle of Kansas City. The giant one with the pillars. I can't find it. I don't think they'll put it on Google.
Type in the IRS building of Kansas City.
It's not the IRS building. No, it's not the IRS building.
Well, if you do Google Maps, it'll show like the street.
I found it.
Okay.
I found an aerial view. Okay. This is an aerial view of this building. This is the only photo I could find, so I'm sorry for the quality. Those giant cylinder things in the middle here of this building, those aren't windows. Those are pillars. And those pillars, each of those pillars is huge. You would need like, well, what would you say, crew? 150 people stacked on top of each other to fill that entire pillar?
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's amazing.
Can you show our Union Station real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, what's crazy was when I was in Chicago and I was sitting in Union Station in Chicago, they have like this big old it's it's crazy. Inside Union Station, they have like these statues and they look like they're like ancient Roman people statues sitting at the end of like each area of their pillars inside Union Station in Chicago. And it almost reminds me of the statues of the pictures that I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then right in front of our Union Station is our Memorial World War I Museum. Beautiful, very beautiful, which me and Rob actually was on top of it, which anybody can actually go on top of it for free. And on top of it, it has like 2 Sphinx on either side when you're walking up the steps.
Oh, did it not pull it up?
I did send you a picture of it.
I clicked on it.
Hold on. I'll give me a second, bro. I sent you pictures before.
Well, that's it right there. I have it right here.
That's
Yeah,
neat
that's the
looking.
Sphinx.
Yeah.
Not just the Sphinx though. I want to show the middle part.
Ooh.
Let's see if I can find the.
But what's that supposed to be?
It's a Sphinx.
Oh, yep, there it is. So on all 4 sides of that middle structure there's a pharaoh, there's a
Romans.
Roman
Greek.
like Caesar.
Like Julius Caesar and probably Ramses.
Yeah, and then there's 2 others, which we couldn't figure out who.
It's so weird. It's so weird. And I looked it up. It is Ramses. Like it's portraying Ramses, Pharaoh Ramses.
Okay.
It's so weird that is on a World War II monument. But this was built. I can vouch for that because there's actual entire history on this being built. Like this part of architecture was actually built by people. It was logged and it took a lot longer than 3 years, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was actually probably one of the craziest things built in Kansas City. A lot of tourism comes to KC specifically for this museum.
I want to go.
For whatever reason, it's pretty graphic. The museum is pretty graphic. Like it's cool. Like it shows a lot of history, but it goes into a lot of like graphic shit with the Nazis and stuff. Like it's all there. Like it's not like it talks about the Holocaust. It doesn't really have Holocaust like stuff. it does talk about the Holocaust, though.
Here, bro, I'm sending them now. The on top of those, what's on top of those, so you can
Yeah.
show them. And they're like holding what looks like swords in the middle of them. And I've only been inside that place once, and it's very beautiful inside.
Kid woke up. Let me share this. All right.
Oh,
That's at the very top of that monument.
that's beautiful.
They are.
And in that church, he sent me a picture of the cathedral that we got, and this is one of those photos.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wow, that's really pretty up close.
extremely pretty. I
that's
remember
how
taking
you
that
get
photo.
married.
Or did you take that photo, crew?
I took that photo, and that was when we were in the parking lot of the cathedral.
It's absolutely amazing. So pretty.
And this was during when Comic-Con was in town.
Yeah, it was.
I found my marriage spot. It's where I'm gonna go get married.
One of the most beautiful Catholic buildings ever. And me and Rob really badly want to go inside, but we haven't had the chance to yet.
We can. It's perfectly legal.
Why didn't we know about that last time?
Well, it wasn't visiting hours.
Oh, yeah, true. It was over the weekend. That's the problem. On a Sunday.
I think you can take tours of it. It's all like you might have to make a donation, but like honestly, it's supposed to be free to the public. Pretty cool though.
That is so pretty.
Oh, bro, can you show that the one in Independence, that big old it's not a cathedral, but it's
That's the Mormon spire.
yeah. Which me and Rob both been inside for this place. Which I do not live far from.
Oh,
I live like, how many minutes do you think, bro?
Like maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah. It'll take me about an hour walk, but
The
maybe
Mormon,
45 minutes.
the Mormons believe that Jesus Christ is going to come back here. Right, this place.
Well, they have that I can't say that word right. It's their prerogative. If they believe that, that's on them.
That's what some of them believe. The sect out here. That's what these Mormons believe. And that Jesus is going to come down from heaven and walk down the spire. And there's a literal pathway built onto the spire. Like you can walk up to like here. Like you can walk like halfway up, and then the rest is blocked. But they believe one day that he's going to come down from the heavens and walk down the spire into the garden. And the garden represents the Garden of Eden. And then he gets to walk out of there into the immaculate church of what they call it. They call it the temple, but they call it the oh my goodness. Why am I Christ the King Cathedral? No. What do they call it?
I can't remember.
There's a literal name for it. It's not just the Mormon temple, but they literally call it something. I can't remember what they call it. It's just like it's the sect of RLDS Mormons. Yeah. But check this one out too.
No.
That's in KC also.
That's pretty.
Yeah, the statue at the very top over here is pure gold.
Wow.
It's really funny because a lot of people apparently have tried to steal it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, how funny is that? Like
Wait,
throughout
Yeah.
the years.
what city is that? Because I don't remember ever seeing this.
Oh, you've never seen this? It's out by Gladstone.
That makes sense because I don't really go out to Gladstone very much.
Yeah, it's out by Gladstone, and there's a lot of stories. Whether or not the stories are true or not, they're all funny. Like through the years, like people have tried to like find their way up there and take it, but there's no way to get up there. There's not like you would have to go onto the roof to do it. And apparently it's like from what I've heard, it's like employees and people like try to figure out a way to like scheme a way to get the statue down. But first off, even if you got it, that thing's got to weigh a couple 100 pounds. Like have fun.
I think
Yeah.
solid.
It's pure gold.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever been into Kansas City, but I've always been through Garnett.
We have a lot of beautiful architecture, but we also have a lot of negative
Crime and
it's really hard to like say the right words because the words will get you in trouble if you say them like for real. But just really like almost gulag areas of like KC. Like you know how like the military like in Call of Duty you will get thrown into the gulag. Yeah, like places like that. Like they really do exist. Like in the middle of the night, you'll end up somewhere you don't want to be.
Like
KC's like
Troost,
the Paseo,
Prospect. Then you
Martin
got
Luther King, all of it. You don't want to be on there.
63rd, Swope Park.
Swope is bad.
Yeah.
They find a lot of they did find a lot of bodies back in the day in Swope Park.
And that's where our Kansas City Zoo's over by.
But you know, Chicago, you have like KC and stuff, like you know Chicago is big with like they at once were known to be the murder capital. Most people went up missing and dead in Chicago. A lot of trafficking, a lot of drug dealing. I mean, Chicago is gang island. It's gang affiliated for sure.
Oh yeah.
So is Kansas City. We're gang affiliated crazy down here. People don't talk about it. And the crazy thing is in KC, as bad as it is, there's a lot of white supremacy gangs. I've noticed it. Like, I don't know if anybody else has, but I've noticed it. And it's pretty fucking crazy. They were actually like marching up and down the streets of KC like one day. and they were in like uniforms and stuff, and they were carrying like the Confederate flag, and then like mixed versions of the American flag and the Confederate flag.
Wow.
And we also
Yeah.
been known to have mafia-related.
Oh, this whole city was built on mafia.
Mhm.
Kansas City and Chicago completely built by the mafia.
Yep.
Don't let anybody tell you different. That's literally how it was built.
Oh, I believe you.
And
And
then
when they got kicked out of KC in Chicago, you know where they went to this day? They're still all in Las Vegas. They run that entire city.
one
I
place
believe it.
though that used to be the most safest place in the world. Now it's not. The Plaza.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to be there at night.
Yeah, you don't want to be there at night. During the day, it's fine, but at night,
Yeah.
not. No.
At night, you don't want to be there. It's sad. KC's gone to shit. At night, you don't
Yeah.
want to be outside. You just don't want to be outside at night. People, that's how you die. That's how you die here. You go outside
Yeah.
at night. That's so sad, but it's
And
true. It's true.
before it
'Cause
got
even
bad,
in
It's the same thing in Chicago. You're fine during the day. You can go out during the day, unless you go to the projects. Like, don't go to the fucking projects.
Yeah, don't go to the south side. Don't go to the south side of Chicago, okay?
If you're not a gangster and you don't know their ways, stay the hell out of there. That's just what you need to do.
yeah, just like Branson, Missouri, near the hospital there. Don't go out at night. It's not good.
Branson, yeah, Branson's crazy.
well, like, okay, so story time, real quick. We've talked about the story before. For those who have not heard the story, I'm gonna retell this story. So this was right after me and Rob graduated high school. We decided to go out to Kansas City. Fun fact, we got lost on Troost.
Yeah.
And our buddy Justin was with us. And what did Justin do, bro?
He tried to pick a fight with probably somebody either on drugs of some kind or somebody that was definitely not mentally stable.
Yeah.
And on top of all of that, we had literal gang members watching us from the side street that had been watching us for the last 15 minutes, that had been trailing us. Because we were two white boys walking around in the middle of somewhere we shouldn't have been.
Three white boys,
Yeah,
actually.
3 white boys.
And I'm not gonna say the name out loud, but they were wearing what color?
Red.
Red.
They're always wearing red. It's KC.
Well, there's blue as well.
Well, yeah, but KC's dominant red.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
You don't come into Kansas City, not if you're wearing blue, you better watch where you go.
And
the thing with Chicago, you better watch.
it's funny because we stopped at this gas station so Rob could get gas, but then he realized he lost his phone, and he swore he saw a mafioso.
Yeah, back then we saw some crazy things. For real. I've been to Chicago. Speaking of which, I've been to Chicago numerous times. Going into Chicago and being there, and first off, it being called the Windy City, true shit. True shit. You cannot be out in the fucking city during any time during the day if you're between those skyscrapers, because you will feel every little bit of that wind. And if you're a lady trying to have nice hair, you better just give up and put it in a ponytail, because it's not going to happen. And like no amount of hairspray can save you in Chicago. I'm sorry.
You would need Aquanet.
There's literal warnings that go out during like rainy season in Chicago, because the winds will feel like tsunami winds going through the skyscrapers, like ripping through. And they tell people to not park their cars on the side streets because they've become hazards.
Yep.
So the Windy City really is windy. Like don't take that one for granted. the weird thing with Chicago is you have parts of the city that are very artistic, that look absolutely amazing, that you would love to be around 24/7.
Yeah.
But at nighttime, it completely changes.
Oh yeah.
The entire Chicago changes at night, the entire city.
Mm-hmm.
The bad parts become the okay parts. The okay parts that are okay during the day become the worst parts, the worst places to be at. And the cops don't patrol down there. They don't.
Oh no.
They don't care. They would rather not be out there because they'll die. And they know it. And that's horrible, but it's true. And Chicago's got to get their shit together. Same thing with
Yeah.
KC. We have to get our shit together because there's too many murders that take place for absolutely no reason. And it's terrible. It's terrible. It's just young people killing young people because they've been told to by somebody else from forever ago about a beef that's not even their beef. But they all just go through it because that's the only culture and the only like activity they know. And it's terrible. And that cycle
Who's
just
that?
continues. It's horrible.
Who's that famous mob boss from Chicago? I forgot his
That's
name.
Al Capone.
Yes.
Al
I was
Capone
like, I know there's a famous one. I
famously
could.
quoted, it may be a myth, but I've always heard it. Everybody that I've always talked to about Al Capone has told me the one thing he said about Chicago and Kansas City, his favorite places about both places, specifically Kansas City, was he loved this place because there were no rules. What does that mean? There were no rules
Wow.
here back in his day. Like he could do whatever he wanted, absolutely whatever he wanted.
And yet, here in Kansas City, they will not stop you if you have expired tags.
Well, not any longer. They're going to. They just made a law going on about like how, because it's ridiculous. There's people with temp tags from 5 years ago that still haven't registered their vehicle.
I'm sorry.
True shit. There are people driving around here. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. There are people driving around here on temp tags from the year 2014, 15. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I've paid property tax on my goddamn car. I don't even know how many fucking times. And this motherfucker has paid no property tax and has been driving around on a temp tag for 9, 10, 12 years and not gotten caught. What? Are you serious? No way in hell. If I did that, I'd be caught in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And how many times have these people been pulled over and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm going to the DMV tomorrow. And every time they say that, they get away with it. The cops are just like, okay, that's fine. But they're driving on temp tags that are more than 3 years old. Like, what the hell? That's a KC, like, but that's an everywhere problem. Like, I heard in Virginia, it's really bad out there too. It's like specifically West Virginia, there's people driving on temp tags that are like 9+ years old. And
I
like
believe
people
it.
have
I
that
live there.
like, shit on camera and stuff. It's like, and then people who don't even register their vehicles, they just drive with no plates. I've seen that shit. I've seen that here in KC multiple times on the highway. And I'm like, either that car is stolen or that person does not give a shit. Like, and they're always driving the speed limit with no plates. And I'm like, how are they getting away with this? And then the trucks too. Have you ever seen the trucks that have no real license plates? They just have the picture license plates. And you're like, huh, how are you getting away with that?
And then I see ones that say farm use on it.
Yeah, that's bullshit. If you're driving it around, on city streets, it's no longer farm use. That is city
Exactly.
street. You need to go.
That is street legal.
Yeah, you need to go get a legal license for that. And even the dudes that drive tractors on the middle of the roads have to have a license to drive that tractor, okay? So they have a valid license to drive on the road, whether or not they're in a tractor or not. And basically slapping farm use onto your personal vehicle that you use at the farm and then taking out in the middle of the road, get stopped by a county sheriff and let's see how well that goes over in court.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how well that goes over because it probably doesn't go over very well. Because they're probably like, what the hell are you doing off your farm? And then does this person even have a license? If they don't have a license, because if you're using your vehicle for farm use, if I'm correct, it's your own property, you don't have to have a license. You can buy that vehicle and just drive it on your own property and no one's going to say shit.
Yeah.
Because you're on your property.
Yeah.
Now you go outside of your property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no longer
Right.
farm use. It's no longer a piece of farm machinery. When I think about specifically like in Chicago's time frame with the architecture, it makes me think Roman and Egyptian. They were very obsessed with Roman and Egyptian architecture. A lot of these cities and states, specifically the states like Washington, Washington, D.C. is its own territory. It's not a state. It's not even a part of America. Did you know that? It's its own country. Washington, D.C. is its own
Yeah.
territory. As crazy as that is, it's not a part of America. It may be inside of America, but it's not technically a part of America.
Isn't it like just the District of Columbia?
Yeah, the DC specifically, the District of Columbia is its own country. That's insane to me.
It is.
Outrageous. But how do they get away with doing that and still making all of us pay taxes? Because everybody that's living directly in the District of Columbia who is probably a politician is getting around with some weird tax fraud, evasion shit because that place ain't really a part of America. So different rules apply to them, correct? Like basically, if you live in DC, different rules apply to you.
Well, it's like the Vatican, for example, bro.
Yes, no, exactly. It's exactly like the Vatican. It's its own country. The Vatican is its own country.
And like, I don't know if
Buckingham
true,
Palace.
but the palace in England, it's its own
Buckingham.
little. But certain places in
They're just off limits from persecution from anybody.
Yeah. Like
Makes
you
no
do
sense.
one wrong thing, they have their own police.
Oh yeah, you're fucked if you go there and do something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
They can
yeah.
do all the wrong in the world and get away with it.
Like we've talked about this in the past. The Vatican, for example, people have gone missing.
People have gone missing. People have supposedly gotten tortured at the Vatican. There's been a lot of different claims about shit that's happened at the Vatican.
You do a sin, you have to go. You go to your own. You go to trial. The Pope figures out what your
that makes me
punishment
laugh
would be.
because of what the Catholic Church has been accused of. That just makes me laugh. I'm like, you have no right to do that to anybody when you've been accused of what you've been accused of.
But it just goes to show that with Washington D.C.,
they're allowed to hide all that information. The Vatican Library, okay, like we're crazy if we don't think that D.C. has some crazy library underneath the White House. You're absolutely insane if you don't think that exists.
Well,
that totally exists. That 100% exists.
For example.
It's artifacts that are not allowed for public use. You're not allowed to see them because they go against the narrative.
The Smithsonian has it explains like in that Night in Museum movie, for example, has storage units all underground, supposedly, allegedly,
filled with random stuff.
Of random artifacts that we don't even know about.
Supposedly the Ark of the Covenant was there at one point. Nobody really knows. That's like the Area 51 of artifacts is kept at the Smithsonian. We're talking giant bones. We're talking lost civilization stuff. We're talking about missing artifacts from ancient times. We're talking about like King Arthur's original sword. We're talking about different things that shouldn't exist but do exist. Proof of dragons, things like that. The Smithsonian is famous for getting rid of those things instantaneously. Let's talk about the 3 unicorn skeletons that the Smithsonian allegedly found in like the 1800s, but the story got blackballed and lost, and now nobody has proof or no proof of unicorns. So it's quite funny.
Yeah, it is.
And giants. The Smithsonian has so many logs of like giant people and getting giant bones, and then they claim they've never had any giant bones.
And I've heard that I think yesterday, and I'm like, this
That's
is just
hilarious.
crazy stuff.
That's
Bro,
hilarious.
that is one place you and I actually gotta go explore.
I've
that
been
we
to the
are allowed.
Smithsonian. I've been to the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is a cool place, but you'll
I'd love
never
to go
find
there.
you'll never find what you're looking for. That's the same. Like they put all the cool shit on display that is relevant to
And
life.
then
It's
the
relevant
place
to life.
that has the what's it called? The blue diamond, the heart diamond, whatever it's called.
The heart diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah. The heart diamond's the only diamond in the world worth like what is it, like some crazy like $400 billion or something.
Something like
Some
that.
outrageous amount of money.
And it had a curse on it or something.
Yeah. That originally I think was the Hope Diamond or the Hope Diamond.
Yeah, the Hope Diamond. That's it. Thank you.
The Hope Diamond. Crazy.
And it has
Hope
a curse
Diamond's
on
weird.
it, and it's supposed to mean hope. What the hell?
Yeah, the curse was because it was stolen, right? How many
Yes.
times was that diamond stolen? It was stolen a shitload.
Oh man.
Yeah, but apparently the
It's
curse
a
is
big story about it.
yeah, weird one. Well, guys, we've hit about our hour and 50-minute mark, and I have to make time for this. So sit back and see some breaking news.
You know what keeps me going out here? A cold Dr. Pepper and a great podcast like the Robert and Crew Show.
Yeah, and that's our message from our nightly Sasquatch.
I love the Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Me too.
So we went over quite a bit tonight. We went over the World's Fair, the Great Fire, H.H. Holmes, and then just architecture of Chicago and generally, and some things about KC and other places. What was the coolest thing you learned tonight, crew?
More about H.H. Holmes.
The stuff about H.H. Holmes?
Yeah.
And his murder castle? What about
You know,
you,
me and
Jim?
my serial killer loving to learn more about.
Yeah. What about you, Julie?
I like it all pretty much. I just think it's very interesting. I would love to see that in the museum.
Yeah. They got some cool stuff. What about you, Mariah?
It's making me rethink some of the things that I saw in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I saw some of the streets and I was getting a chance to just look around just to kind of like see different architectural stuff. And like I was mentioning inside Union Station, when I was sitting in their entrance, because they have like a grand entrance that's like massive.
Right.
I've seen
And
pictures.
and I should have taken pictures, but they had like these statues that almost looked like those statues from the World's Fair just sitting on tap. They have like 4 different statues, and with that same type of architectural design. And it makes me wonder, could that have played a factor in some of the architecture going into now that is still there?
For sure.
So
I think so. I think that's definitely old style architecture is always embraced by new style, but the shitty thing is a lot of the architecture nowadays is this boxy modern shit.
yeah, and I freaking hate it.
It's terrible. It's depressing. It's horrible to look
gross.
at. Yeah, it's not like what happened to all the eccentric carvings and like statues and gargoyles and things like that stuff was cool. That stuff was like awesome to look at. But all of that disappeared and now we just have this boxy shit. Even our cool like buildings are all boxy. These skyscrapers, they're all boxy.
And it's like
when we were in Kansas City before we go, one of my favorite things that we saw, it was at the West Bottoms. Bro, you remember this because we were parked right across from it.
Yeah.
And it was what again? It was on that building.
The ball of mercury.
No.
What are you talking about?
It was a statue carved into the building.
Oh god.
Over at West Bottoms.
The statue that was carved into a building. Oh no, I don't remember.
But it was the coolest thing that you and I saw, and we almost did not see it until I pointed it out at the last minute.
Was it a gargoyle?
I think it was. But
yeah, it may have been one of the gargoyles that's in the middle or that's like on one of the buildings in the West Bottoms.
That would have been neat.
But it was right near the gas station too.
Yeah. There's a couple gargoyles that are hidden around the city in KC. It's pretty cool actually. But anyways, I think that ties up everything for tonight. We had a good episode. Does anyone want to say anything else before we go?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Yeah.
And if you do want to check out our merch, we have that on the page.
Yeah, we have our merch on our page, and we also have this link for our donations if you want to donate to us directly, or like we said, you can buy the merch. And if you don't want to, you don't have to donate or buy merch. You can just listen to us. We enjoy that too. Anyways, much love from the Robert and Crew Show. We're going to see you guys later. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Good night.
Can you believe Season 7 just keeps getting wilder? Thanks for tuning in, podcast pals. From ghost stories to headline news and epic Euro travel, we've covered it all, plus a side of laughs. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe and join us next time for more news, thrills, and adventures. See you soon.